everyone. I'm Marlon, I'm actually part of the Tenable team. And today I'll be taking 20 minutes of your time, just to discuss one of the important things that we need to understand right now in the market today, which is industrial cybersecurity. We need to protect business critical operations. When we say business critical operations, we're talking about critical infrastructure. It's basically the operational technology or OT.
So when you say OT, operational technology is actually everywhere. So within our environment, if you go to the airport, if you go to a shopping mall or a mall, there are operational technology devices everywhere. And it's imperative for us to actually protect those OT environment. So critical industries, airports, automotive, building management systems or building management, government, even logistics and manufacturing. All of these critical industries have OT devices in itself. No? So, and as I said, we need to protect those infrastructures or critical industries. So basically, the security leaders concerned OT environment is part of it. No? So as you look at the modern attack surface, it's no longer looking at IT assets or IT devices, but more so and more importantly, being able to understand what are the risks and exposure on the OT environment. No? And within the modern attack surface, there are a lot of concerns with regards to the OT environment. So these are some of the common security concerns regarding the OT environment. Number one would be lack of accurate asset inventory. Just imagine if you don't have visibility on all of the assets within the OT environment, it would be impossible for the team to address if there are critical issues within the OT environment. No? These are basically one of the requirements in order to protect the OT environment within our organization. Lack of visibility, lack of intercommunication patterns, understanding intercommunication patterns between the OT devices. No? What are the services, what are the ports, what are the things that you need to protect in terms of the communication or intercommunications between the OT devices. And then, of course, threat detection. If you don't have visibility, if you don't understand what are the assets within your environment, especially on the OT side, it would be difficult for the team to address threat within the environment. And then, of course, understanding the compensating controls that we need to put on the delicate systems. These are just some of the common security concerns regarding the OT environment or ICS environment. So basically, connected environments require connected teams. If you look at the information security, what are the paramount informations or paramount things that the information security team needs to address? It's all about CIA or confidentiality, integrity, availability. No, so if you're part of the cybersecurity team, we will be looking at insider threats, compromised systems, as well as asset visibility, being able to understand what are the assets within the environment, and then of course securing the data. No? So if you're part of the information security team, you will be able to check or understand what would be the things that you need to protect in terms of data protection, and of course compliance and regulations. No? But however, if you look at the other side of the spectrum, which is OT engineering, they're looking at safety, availability, integrity, and confidentiality. Those are the three things that the OT people or OT environment will look into protecting. No? So they will look under configuration changes, being able to understand what will be the physical safety and impacts to the people. And then, of course, within the OT environment, you need to also understand what are the assets that you need to protect. Those assets will basically the point of entry for bad actors to move laterally within the environment. But both teams, they need to be interconnected. They need to understand one another. The environment from the information security side need to understand the environment of the OT side. No? So, but at the end of the day, they're looking at what will be the impact on the business if something happened to both sides, or especially on the OT environment. So it's imperative for the team to work hand in hand and being able to address the attack surface or the modern attack surface, both on the information security side as well as on the engineering. So, as I said, both teams, the IT environments as well as the OT environments, need to basically collaborate and understand what are the weak points, what are the threats that needs to be addressed both on both sides, IT and OT. So to have a complete visibility, complete OT security, it's imperative for both teams to understand the risk and exposure of each assets within the environment. So part of the complete visibility on the OT security would be to provide OT baselining. You need to understand and make an assessment of all the assets within the environment. And then being able to see what will be the vulnerabilities or discover the vulnerabilities within the OT environment. And then, of course, once you have the visibility, you would be able to address the potential threat within the environment. So, as I said, security framework in terms of the industrial side of things, first you need to discover. You need to have enterprise visibility within the environment. And then, of course, assessment. When we say assessment, we need to have a vulnerability management program in place to understand how the threat actors will be able to penetrate and move laterally inside the OT environment and as well as on the IT environment. And then, of course, provide configuration controls. When we say configuration controls, set a standard or set a controls within the environment so that if there are any changes or deviations on the baselines that we set on the OT side of things, we would be able to address it right away. And then, of course, audit and secure, being able to address any threat within the environment. But more importantly, you need to have visibility first on the OT side. No? And then, of course, lastly, you need to measure the threats within the environment. You must have an integrations with third party in terms of providing a context on how the bad actors or what would be the metrics for you to understand what are the postures you have right now on your OT environment. So basically, it's providing visibility and then understanding what are the vulnerabilities within the OT environment. That is actually paramount importance to both the IT side and also on the OT side of things. So being able to understand what is actually the posture of the whole environment on the OT side is equally important to security. So at the end of the day, if it's a physical security or it's a OT side security or physical security or information or cyber security, at the end of the day, both teams, the IT or the information security guys, as well as the OT side, should be able to understand what are the risks and exposure within the environment. And the way for us to do that is to educate both sides of the fence. Being able to provide education on the OT side as well as on the IT side. So in that way, we would be able to provide a holistic view. We would be able to provide um, the metrics to the management system or to the management level or the executive level that this is actually my present posture in terms of the IT environment, in terms of the OT environment. You will have full visibility in that way. And then you would be able to understand and be able to provide information on how the bad actors or the threat actors would be able to penetrate and compromise specific systems, both on the IT and the OT side of the fence. So in that case, this is actually my last slide. Thank you very much for your time. The team will be here the whole day. If there are any concerns or things that you would like to discuss about OT security, the team will be here to help you out. Thank you.
It's crucial to have a clear picture of both your OT and IoT assets. Fragmented visibility, unexpected risks, and data silos make it challenging to assess the risk. But the truth is, OT is everywhere, from your factories to your data centers, office buildings, and more. Enter Tenable One for OT and IoT, the only platform to unify asset and vulnerability data for OT and IoT environments, simplifying how you understand and prioritize cyber risk. Tenable provides a clear view of all your assets, allowing you to focus on protecting what matters most. Gain complete visibility into your asset inventory across the attack surface. Uncover deep details about asset relationships and accelerate your remediation efforts with better insights. Stay miles ahead of threat actors and reduce your organization's cyber risk with Tenable One for OT and IoT.